Hey guys, so this is my 2022 Toyota Tacoma SR5 4x4 V6. I picked it up about a month and a half ago. It's a great truck, love it, rides nice. I find it to have plenty of power. The reason I'm making this video today is I kind of just want to discuss the engine in it. I know over the years there's been, since 2016 when this truck debuted, there's been some different opinions on its power and its towing capacity, its towing ability, and I don't tow, so that's something I really can't comment too much on, but I personally find it to have plenty of power. But I just want to give you a little rundown on the engine, some stuff that I've learned about it. So this is a 3.5 liter 2gr-fks. That's the code name Toyota gave this engine, and it's a D4S Atkinson cycle motor. So it's able to switch between auto cycle and Atkinson cycle. This engine actually has 12 fuel injectors. So you have 6 port injectors and 6 direct injectors. And Toyota pretty much mastered this in the fact that you're not going to have the carbon buildup issues that you have on a lot of direct injection engines today, solely directed injected engines, where there's no fuel being sprayed on the back of the intake valves and carbon builds up, engine doesn't run right. I mean, you know, they're nice when they're new, but over time you're going to have problems. And being that Toyota put this engine in this truck, it shows a lot on their part that they built a vehicle to last, specifically the Tacoma. And it says a lot about the company, and people that buy mid-sized trucks tend to keep them for a long, long time, or any truck for that matter. And just gonna try to get up close here to show you what the motor looks like. So you have a clutch fan, as you can see down here. This isn't an electric fans like a lot of cars have, a lot of trucks have today. 0W20 motor oil. Now this motor here, you will hear it switch between, first of all, there's your high pressure fuel pump. That's for the direct injection system. And that will get extremely noisy when it runs in direct injection mode. And you can hear it go back and forth between port injection, direct injection. And it'll almost sound a little bit like a diesel engine when it's in direct injection mode, but that's normal. And it's interesting to like the process to see how the computer decides, you know, when it wants to run direct injection and when it wants to run port injection. And it also has a feature that this engine, it has, it's able to clean the fuel, the direct injectors by, they have like little slits on the side of the direct injectors in the combustion chamber where the engine will actually run itself in port injection mode, and it'll go into a self-cleaning mode where it'll get even louder, and that's actually when it's spraying fuel on the side of the fuel injector to blow off the carbon on it. Highly technologically advanced, but extremely well made, well thought out. If you're planning on keeping the truck for a long, long time, you're not going to have these issues that a lot of truck companies are having. Like, you know, Nissan, they don't have this system. Ford, they don't have this system. General Motors, they don't have this system with the dual injection. And so I think that's what really makes Toyota stand out, and that was one of the main reasons I bought this Tacoma, was I plan on keeping it for 20 years. And that right there makes me feel good that the motor, the engine, it's just not going to have carbon buildup. This is also, it has traditional power steering, so it's not electronic steering. It's not electric steering. It doesn't have an electric steering rack. It has a hydraulic steering rack. So there's your power steering fluid reservoir, which I personally like more. It makes the steering wheel feel more heavy. It makes you feel like you're more in tune with the road and more in tune with the truck. In my opinion, less things to break, less electronics to go bad. But down here, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a tube with black fins coming out of it. That's your power steering cooler. your air conditioning condenser. Behind that would be your radiator. The earlier models, I believe they stopped doing this in 2021. Used to have an auxiliary transmission cooler right down there between where the horns would be, or right down there between the horns. It was an actual transmission cooler. I believe they did away with that in 2022, 2021, somewhere in that time frame. You can fact check me on that. But I believe they did that with the Tundra too, and I think the chief engineer, Mike Swears, had mentioned that it really didn't affect the cooling of the transmission any when you were towing, so Toyota just did away with it. There's your alternator, pulleys. I mean, it's I find it to have plenty of power. I mean, it makes its power in the higher RPMs, being that it kind of is more of a car engine than an actual traditional truck engine like the old 4-liter V6 was. But plenty of power once you get up past 2,500 RPMs, especially anything over 3,000 RPMs. I mean, this truck pulls. It's got plenty of power, no doubt about it. That's something you would have to test drive it and see if you like it. Personal preference, really. But then again, you have to take in the fact that even if it doesn't have the amount of power that you want, you got to realize that if you're planning on keeping it for 20 years, maybe sacrifice the power and realize that because of the D4S system that it's going to last. But there's the truck, Barcelona red metallic. So the SR5 is like a step above the SR, which is the base model. So you get a lot of nice features with this vehicle. I already did a review on the inside and the rest of the outside of the truck from one of my past videos. But this video is mainly just about the engine. I wanted to talk about that. And it is a 6-speed automatic transmission. I find it shifts really nice. The whole truck just I love it. And I really do plan on keeping it for 20 years. So I have no doubt about it in my mind that Toyota did a great job with this drivetrain in this truck. So guys, I just wanted to do that quick review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you were kind of curious about the 3.5 2gr-fks, maybe this answered some of your questions or curiosity that you might have had. All right guys, have a great night.